Hello and welcome back to Madden 21 for your Minnesota Vikings franchise. How you doing, everybody? Eric M. Twins 28 here. This is an encore episode between Season 2, Episode 7 and Season 3, Episode 1. After the recording of Episode 7, I just kind of finished what I was doing here. I mentioned I was going to take a hiatus because I needed to do other things with other games, and I'm going to be moving soon, so I won't have time to do anything. And I just kind of want to give Madden a break because, you know, I've been pumping out the episodes pretty good here lately, and just wanted to take a little breather and kind of think what I'm going to do with this franchise heading into Season 3 and beyond. Sunday, I was watching the Vikings, the real Vikings, get absolutely ass kicked by the 0-5 Falcons, and to the point I gave up at just before halftime, and I got dressed, and went shopping because I need to get some stuff anyways, and I was pissed. And I usually never give up on them that badly, and I was pissed the way the real Vikings are playing. I'm pretty much done with them now. I'm just like, get rid of Cousins, get rid of Zimmer and Spielman. It's time to tank, and seriously, we need a quarterback of the future, and we just have so many holes. I was pissed. But, so I did my thing, went home, game was still on. You know, they made a couple nice plays with Jefferson, but the Falcons were still going to win. But one of the things they talked about was Harrison Smith. About how he's not only just a good safety, he could play like a linebacker, and it made me think. We have an opening at linebacker. We have possible openings at safety for when Harrison is old enough and his regression is bad enough. We have to fill in the hole, which we did with Anthony Harrison when we traded him away, and then we drafted Caden Stearns. And I recently I made a selection from a Michigan safety to eventually replace Smith when he regresses. But I'm like, what would happen if I moved Harrison Smith to linebacker? And he didn't really drop off that much. I think he dropped 1 point. But he solidifies that spot really good. He's a left outside linebacker now. We're going to take a look at that, but I'm going to not show it to you because it would be a spoiler, because I made a couple roster moves, big roster moves. I finally got a trade I've been working on for a long time to go through. I had to do a little fancy dancing and all that, but I got a couple trades to go through, and I'm going to show you guys what happened between those two between Season 2, Episode 7, and the upcoming Season 3, Episode 1, which I haven't shot yet. So I'm going to show you guys what happened right now. A lot has happened. A lot of trades has taken place. Okay, so here's the draft. This is what we did, okay? So, we traded. Oh, these are the draft picks we had. Okay, so. Oh, remember when I said we drafted a quarterback named Cunningham? Well, I changed his name to Randall Cunningham to second. His original name was Michael Cunningham. It was not Randall Cunningham's actual son, but his son did play quarterback at one time, but he mostly a track star at UFC. But I thought it was a great storyline, so I edited the guy's name from Michael Cunningham to Randall Cunningham II. So he is our new backup quarterback, and I've already played as him before as well. Preseason week 1 against the Saints, he got the rest of the game, and he did really well too. And this guy here, the kicker, I figured out how to say it. It's Schmidt. It's just spelled weird. Adam Williams. So here's all the moves I ended up doing. I moved Dylan Moses from right outside linebacker to left. That's what the edit's there for, because I moved changed his position. So if you see it edited by myself, that's just a position. That's just the change I did to the player for position. Harrison Smith, strong safety, moved him to right outside linebacker. I'll show you his stats now. Jackson Hill. He's the guy I drafted to eventually replace Harrison Smith. I moved him from free safety to strong safety because Harrison was a strong safety. I didn't realize that. We drafted Daxton, so I moved him to strong safety. Yannick Ngakoue, I decided to change his dev to superstar because he is a superstar around the league. He's well known. I thought the star rating was not fair, so that's what I did. I bumped it up just to 1. That's all I did for him. Now here's where the draft picks came in for making the trade to get a certain defensive player who you're going to see here in a little bit. Since I signed is it DK Metcalf or JD not Metcalf, JD Moore, the receiver we got in free agency. Thielen was regressing and don't really have a spot for him with 1 and 2 filled up with Moore and now Jefferson doing well. It didn't make sense to have Thielen anymore because he's not a number 2 on this team because that's Jefferson's spot. He's not a number 3. So I traded him and DeMarcus Robinson, who I just signed this past season to an extension. And I sent my 3rd to the Patriots, and they gave me a 1st round and a 5th. I think the 1st round was because of Thielen. But whatever the case, I got an extra 1st rounder, which is good because we originally didn't have a 1st round draft pick in 2022. We traded it away. I don't remember. It was one of the offensive linemen we got, or I think it was to trade up to get Justin Fields in the draft. I don't remember. Then what happened? Here's the big trade. Jackson Hill was traded to Tampa Bay. And you can see I finally got him. I got Antoine Winfield Jr. That's the guy I've been wanting all along. I got him, but it cost me. So the draft pick I got from the Bucks, and then another one I also had another one, I think. I don't remember how I got. Yeah, I did have a number 1 draft. I take that back. I did have a number 1 draft pick. I'm going all this by memory right now. I did have 1 of each. I take that back. Must have been something else I did. I don't remember. I could have sworn I only had the 1 draft pick, but it doesn't matter. I traded 2 number 1s and Jackson Hill to the Bucks, and I got Antoine Winfield. It went through. So he is my new free safety. And I moved Kearns to strong safety to fill in for Harrison Smith. So Stearns and Winfield are now in the secondary. Holton Hill, I traded him to the Chiefs for a 2nd rounder because he's expendable with Jair Alexander and Logan Ryan back there. And Mac Alexander, didn't need him, didn't want him anymore. The Mike Hughes experiment is over. I traded him. I also got a 3rd rounder for him from the Chargers. I thought about trying to get a 2nd. They wouldn't take it, but they gave me a 3rd. And then I traded Logan Ryan and Cam Dantzler to the Bengals for a 1st round pick. Some of these may not be in order. So one of these picks might have been to trade with the other pick I got from New England to get Winfield. So I don't know. Some of these are hard to keep track of. Nate Metters, I tried him. I think I moved him either from a safety point to corner, or I don't remember. It doesn't say what they added. I think I just viewed him, but it didn't work. I don't remember what I added on him. It might have been a number fall. Actually, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a number update. And then Winfield was updated. I gave him number... Yeah, he was wearing number 26, and I wanted to give that to Winfield. So he got 27 or something. Winfield got number 26 like his dad. Cunningham, I gave him number 7 like his dad wore in Minnesota when he was here, because number 12 was taken, and I'm like, nah, he can have number 7. Winfield had number 7, so he got changed to a different number. And then I traded Cunningham again. I think that was a change of his name from Michael to Randall. But, yeah, so we have Winfield Jr., and I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll show you the defense. I'll show you the offense now. and the defense and what it looks like. Well, here's what we look like on offense. DK Moore is the number 1 now. Jefferson's number 2. We got Kendrick Bourne, and then of course we have Charleston Rambo. That was the other reason why we traded Thielen, was because we had drafted Rambo, and he did good in preseason. He looked really good. So I think we're okay at receiver. We still have Sherman, the fullback. We have Cook, Tony Brooks-James, Keith Brooks, and Moore. So running backs look good. Quarterbacks, we have Fields, Cunningham, and Walker. And then the offensive line is pretty set, except for, Cleveland struggled last year, so we keep an eye on him. But everybody else looks good. Irv Smith, Moss, and Conklin on tight ends. Here's where the second defense gets interesting. We have Jair Alexander. McKenzie's on number 2. We have Gladney. Metter's behind him. We have Tyrone Stevenson, I believe. Yep, or Tyreek Stevenson. He's the one we drafted. So we made some changes there. The D-line is stacked and looks good. Yannick, Pierce, Clowney, Hunter. And Yannick, as you can see, he is a superstar now, and I think that's fair because he is that much of a stud. And I think it just well-deserved. It's a crime that he was listed as a star to begin with. These two, Clowney was a superstar at one point, but he's kind of taken a step backwards, but maybe he can earn it back. But I thought Yannick deserved to be a superstar, at least. That's why I made the change. I felt it was justified. These two will probably earn it, hopefully. And Daniil, he's a X Factor. He was already that way. Odenabo behind him. Got Watts, Lynch, Shamar Stephan, and you got that's not Mataafa. Tafia. It must be a draft. I think that's a draft pick I selected. Harrison Smith, as you can see, he's now a left outside linebacker. I probably should put him over here, next to where he played. He kind of helped Stearns out, but I think he'll be fine. Kendricks and Moses moved from left to right, and then we have all the guys we drafted the past years. This is the guy we drafted to replace Barr when we traded Barr during the draft. But he can kind of groom himself under Harrison as his die is with Kendricks. So these younger guys, actually, they got a lot of talented guys ahead of them they can learn from. So this linebacker core is really filthy. I'm loving it. And then, of course, the safeties. Stearns comes from the left to the right side, strong safety. And you got Cole the second underneath him. And then over on the left, the recent acquisition, Winfield Jr. back in Minnesota. It took an arm and a leg, but I got it finally. I'm happy about it. He's going to live out his days in Minnesota. We're going to keep him, and I'm pretty happy. And as far as, I forgot, the kicking squad. I forgot to show you guys that. Special teams. Dangus is still the leading punter. McManus is the leading kicker. But then we got Schmidt behind him. We got Wayne Williams, the punter behind Dangus. And all the guys are scheme fits, so it kind of helps. So Schmidt, I believe he nailed a long kick, a long field goal in the first game last week when I played the Saints, which we ended up winning big. I think he kicked a long one. Let's check. Player stats. Kicking. Schmidt hit 2 for 2 for field goals. 56-yarder was the longest. He made all his extra points. McManus didn't try any field goals, but he hit all his extra points. But McManus had some kickoffs that did not reach the end zone. Andre Schmidt, he did, so that was nice to see. Dangus had one punt for 33 yards. Schmidt did not have any, or Williams, I should say. So I'm probably in the second game going to, against Colts, we'll try a little more with the rookies. And then I think this week here against the Chargers, I'm going to most of the starters. In this game here against the Bengals at home, it's going to be all the backups. I want to see how the backups do. I want to see how the rookies do. Winfield will probably get some extensive playing time, even though I know he's a stud. I just want him to get it. Actually, no, I'm going to have him play most of the 3. Week 4 is going to be all the backups. So, like, Jackson Hill, the guy that I drafted to replace Harrison eventually, which will now not happen because we have Winfield and Stearns, but still going to have depth in the background. Pretty much all the young guys are going to get to start week 4. I'm probably going to give Cunningham all 3 quarters, and then the 4th I'll give P.J. Walker. But most likely, Randall Cunningham II will most likely be the backup quarterback. But we'll still keep Walker. We'll probably see if we can sneak him on the practice squad and go from there. So that's all I wanted to update you guys on. Next game play will be Season 3, Episode 1 against the Detroit Lions in Detroit at Ford Field. I'll give you guys an update on the roster, who was sent to the practice squad, who was released, the final 53-man roster, and then we'll get into the Lions game, and that'll be Season 3, Episode 1. So if you like this episode, this extension of Episode 2, Season 2, Episode 7, hit that like button, leave a comment if you like, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help out with future projects, visit my Patreon at patreon.com/mntwins28. You don't have to help. Any help's greatly appreciated. Oh, and before I go, I just thought of something. When we were looking at the preseason roster there, I noticed the Los Angeles Chargers, and I mentioned in one of the last 2 episodes that I don't think it was fair that San Diego lost their team. It was kind of bullshit that it was the Chargers, blah, 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 which cities should get their teams back, because we saw Jacksonville got pushed to St. Louis and Washington got pushed to Toronto. So I'm going to kind of play dirty here. I'm going to move the Chargers. I'm going to create the Chargers as a separate team, and I'm going to move them back to San Diego because I think they should have been in San Diego all along. So I'm just giving you guys a warning that that's going to happen. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to play hinky with the trades and try to pick up some players from them. I'm not going to do anything dirty like that, but I'm going to move the Chargers back to San Diego where they belong and give them a stadium, because I think San Diego got screwed and they deserve their team back. So I'm just letting you guys know beforehand that what I'm going to do, that I'm only going to take control of the Chargers just to get them moved, and then that's going to be it. So, all right. So if you like this episode, do all the things I asked, please. And we'll see you for Season 3, Episode 1. Until next time, peace out and Skol Vikings!